What's up, everybody? It's Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin on the show. What's up, Dustin? Good to have you back on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, as always.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is the 2020 Week 2 Bengals at Browns preview. The 0-1 Cincinnati Bengals at the 0-1 Cleveland Browns on Thursday Night Football. So the start of Week 2 tonight, Dustin. Two teams that need a win that are trying to avoid an 0-2 start. Looking at both these teams on paper, you would think, the Browns are the better team, on paper at least. What do you expect going into this game tonight?
I mean, after watching Sunday, I expect typical Browns. I mean, Baker Mayfield didn't look that great on Sunday, and they started slow, and they just got their tail whipped. So, I mean, I kind of expect a low-scoring ball game between two teams who are rebuilding, basically.
Yeah, but, I mean, look at Cleveland's roster. I mean, you got, there's a lot of weapons there. There's, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. At what point Baker Mayfield's got to step up? Excuses should be gone for him.
Yeah, man. I mean, this was the year for him to put up or shut up, and so far, I mean, I know it's only week 1, but he hasn't performed to the franchise quarterback that they thought he would be.
Yeah, to his credit, that Ravens defense is pretty nasty. Then you add Calais Campbell to that mix. So, they are tough, but I did expect more than 6 points week 1. I expected it to be competitive. I do think they'll play a lot better tonight against, a Bengals team that is in a little bit of a rebuild, kind of, sort of. What did you see out of Joe Burrow week 1? Were you happy with what you saw? Were you impressed?
I mean, yeah, I was impressed. I mean, he still needs a little work, obviously, being his first game, but he looked good. I mean, managed the game very well.
You could argue that if not for a borderline penalty call, Joe Burrow could have had the game-winning drive and game-winning touchdown pass in that game.
Yep, and also their kicker missing that field goal to tie the football game.
Yep, Randy Bullock missing that kick. And speaking of that kick got Bullock, pretty much said he pulled a calf muscle, was limping around after the kick. And the Browns, who cut kicker Austin Seibert after week 1, has signed with the Bengals. Bullock was back at practice and full participant, so they're expecting Randy Bullock back out there kicking tonight. But that'd be kind of cool to see Austin Seibert kicking against his former team.
Yeah, it's always good to go back against your former team and show them what they missed out on.
Yeah, but Seibert didn't look too good either. He was 0 for 1 on field goal, 0 for 1 on extra point. And the Browns have a familiar name kicking for them tonight. Dustin, tell me if you've heard this name before, Cody Parkey.
Yeah, I do. Oh, man, good luck to Cleveland.
Over under on how many field goal posts get hit on his kicks tonight. I'm saying at least 1, if not 2.
1? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. I'm going to go with 0, but he's going to miss 2.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, we'll see what we get out of the kicking game tonight. I expect it to be erratic. But yeah, Bengals, I thought Joe Burrow, I mean, he struggled a little bit. It looked like he was trying to do too much on that one interception he threw. It was like that Brett Favre, flip forward instead of throwing your normal passing angle. He just kind of flips it forward and gets it picked off. It was nice seeing Burrow use his legs. That's something that a lot of people didn't talk about too much, but Burrow is pretty athletic for a quarterback.
Yeah, he showed at LSU that he can move, with his legs. Yeah. So, and I mean, that pick, he's a rookie. He made a rookie mistake.
Yeah, just trying to do too much, and, he'll learn from that and be a little more careful with the ball going forward. And that was a pretty good Chargers defense he's going against with Bosa and Ingram and those pass rushers. So tonight, I mean, what do you think of Cleveland? Kevin Stefanski is also, that was his first game coaching, first time head coach. Um, did you see the fake punt they called early in this game?
Uh, I did not see that fake punt, but I
Man,
seen some of the highlights of it.
so from your own 31, down 7-0, he calls a fake punt. I don't like it at all. It's too early in the game, and the punter gets hit and fumbles the ball. It was going to be a turnover on downs anyways, but Kevin Stefanski needs to, learn from his mistakes as well, because I did not like that call. Um, and so we'll see if the Browns, looking at Cleveland, maybe they need to start thinking about taking the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands a little bit and using their two elite running backs in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Only 23 carries combined in week one. I'd like to see that get up closer to like 40 tonight.
I agree. Didn't they just sign Kareem Hunt to an extension or something?
Yeah, I believe so. This offseason at least.
So yeah, I mean, why not give them the ball and just pound it?
Yeah, especially when you got a 1-2 punch like that. You got a pretty good offensive line. Now, I did read that Jack Conklin isn't going tonight, so that's a little bit of a blow.
Yeah,
But
that's a big loss.
yeah, but we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, Browns punter Jamie Gillen or something like that. Um, he had a punt in this game that got downed at the 1 yard line. So he pins the Ravens at the 1 yard line. I'm thinking the Browns should stick to what he does best, keep him punting instead of playing running back, like on that fake punt.
Yep.
So the game, Ravens Browns was actually a decent game in the second quarter, 10-6. They were right in it, but in my opinion, the most critical possessions of any game are the end of the half and the end of the game, how you finish the halves. And the Browns failed to execute at the end of this game. I mean, it was 10-6 in the first half, and the Ravens get 2 touchdowns out of it and take a 24-6 halftime lead on top of getting the ball to start the second half. You got to be able to use the game clock and strategy to, you can use that in your favor to increase or cut leads, gain momentum that can transfer over the next half or even the next game. The Browns did miss a field goal attempt there, but gave up 2 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes of the first half. And that was really killer to go from 10-6 to down 24-6 at halftime. Do you agree with that end of half, end of game type thinking?
Yes, I do agree. And I see it as if you get, if you score anything before the half, you get momentum going into the half, which
Yeah.
makes you want to come out of the half and play
Yeah,
very well.
it's like what the Chiefs did to the Texans in the opener on Thursday night, where they scored, they stopped the Texans from scoring, they get the ball at halftime, and then the first possession of the second half they score again, and boom, you can take a 2-score lead just like that if you play it right. So tell me, all right. So in this game, the Bengals Chargers game, there was a great play made by Bengals safety Jesse Bates. I mean, the Mike Williams caught the pass, but he put a really good hit on him as he caught the pass. And this is one of the things that I hate about the NFL officiating as it's built. There's a clean, hard hit, and he's flagged for unnecessary roughness because the officials just assume that it's helmet-to-helmet contact. Then you go to replay, and you can see clearly that this was picture perfect, NFL teaching tape, shoulder to shoulder, hard hit, no helmet contact whatsoever. Yet there is no replay system set up for these officials to go look at and change a call. So these defenders keep getting flagged for, hits that are clean. And I think we have to do something. We have to change the way that you can officiate these games and be able to go to replay and get the call right. I hate that we're punishing football players, defenders, for clean hits because the play happens too fast for the officials to know whether or not it's a clean hit. And so in my opinion, we have to be able to review these penalties and change them if they're wrong. Do you agree with me?
100%. I think, again, those penalties take good players out of games. And
yeah. And the thing is you can do it in college football. It's like college football is ahead of the curve because when they call a targeting penalty, they go and look at it and make sure they get the call right.
Yeah, and I mean, nowadays, it seems like to me in the league, they don't even know exactly what a target is.
Yes. Now, I'm all for eliminating helmet-to-helmet contact, especially because it can be pretty nasty and pretty violent. But, so yes, throw the flag there. Yes, penalize those hits. But we cannot, at the same token, penalize defenders for clean hits just because it looks dirty or it looks like there might have been illegal contact. You have to be able to go back and look at it. And I don't know why we haven't already done this. I was harping on this last year, but I thought we were going to get to the point where we could review everything. Everything goes to instant replay. Just make, but whatever. They're not there yet, and it's still pissing me off, as you can tell.
Yeah, I can tell you're pretty upset about that. I mean, I feel the same way, but, I mean, they ended up finding a way to do that for pass interferences, which obviously still doesn't work.
Well, they changed that now. They did it 1 year, and now you can't challenge pass interference anymore.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was a 1 year thing, and they changed it back. And pretty much what they did was they didn't like the rule change, and so they made a league-wide thing. You saw it last year where obvious pass interference, like they would challenge it, and unless it was super obvious, they were never gonna change the call on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they shouldn't have changed that, man. That's going to ruin football games.
I mean, I think we should go to instant replay for everything. If it looks like they got the call wrong, and you've got the ability to challenge it as a head coach, you should be able to challenge whatever you want, so that we're getting the calls right and we're not punishing players for clean hits and playing the football game the right way.
Absolutely. I mean, it's something that would probably bring more fans back too. Is the correct officiating, man? Because I know a lot of people who have stopped watching it because of the bad officiating.
Imagine if you could go back last year, if you're a Lions fan, and you could challenge those 2 illegal hands to the face on Trey Flowers and see on replay that it was obviously not illegal hands to the face, neither one, and get those both reversed. And then everyone would be happy. When you get, let's say you're watching a Colts game and a call goes against your opponent, but it benefits the Colts, and you can see clear as day on replay that it's the wrong call. Doesn't that leave a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth? Like, we'll take it, but that's the wrong call.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that a lot against Notre Dame, where we'll be grabbing all over a player and they don't call pass interference on the other team. I'll be like, man, that's kind of messed up,
Yeah.
For one, it makes it look like you're doing it to make the other team look good,
Yeah. Yeah, it brings into question, like, is the fix in? Are these guys the things that I like to bring up is it seems to always benefit the Packers when there's a weird call like that, when there's a questionable call. Aaron Rodgers seems to benefit the most from the body weight sack call of all people, So I don't know. I hope that we change it soon. This isn't meant to be a hate on NFL officiating episode. Let's get back to Browns Bengals. Tonight, what's your expectations? Who you got winning this game?
I am going with the Bengals in an upset.
Okay. I'm tempted to go Bengals too because I like the way they look against the Chargers and the Browns look so bad. But I think what you see a lot out of the Browns is 1 week they look awful. The next week they look like they've kind of got it together. And it gets their fans to buy in. And then the next week they look awful again. So they're kind of one of those up and down teams, and I expect the Browns to pull this one out tonight and look a lot better doing it. And then we'll, see if they can turn their season around and still make the playoffs. But a big game for Cleveland, because if you start 0-2, there's going to be a lot of doubters and a lot of noise in that building. What do you think? What do you think personally? You think the Browns have it in them to make a run and make the playoffs this year?
Unless they change things, no.
Yeah. Well, they got to be more consistent. You got to have it more consistent. Baker Mayfield was missing some throws. He wasn't the most accurate quarterback in Week 1.
Honestly, man, like I've said before, they need a whole new franchise, bro.
Well, and I say this often, talking about, whether it's the Browns or the Lions and sometimes even my Bears. Poor ownership, poor decisions, and poor management at the ownership level leaks its way down into every facet of an organization. And so that could be what we've had in Cleveland for quite some time, is a poor ownership regime. But, yeah, I do expect the Browns to bounce back, get this win. Who knows? If they get hot, they've got the talent for sure. They've got a talented roster that could make the playoffs, go 9-7, 10-6. But I got to see it before I'll believe it.
Yeah, it's the same here, man. They got all the talent in the world, but they just can't win. And it seems like to me they don't have a leader.
Yeah, and that's where it comes from. The quarterback Baker Mayfield, the head coach Kevin Stefanski, guys like Myles Garrett, number 1 overall pick, need to step up and be the leaders of the organization, Garrett and Baker. So looking forward to this game tonight. Excited to watch Bengals-Browns, the battle for Ohio. And I'm picking Browns, you're picking Bengals, so we'll see who takes the win. Thanks for coming on, Dustin. Good shit as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was a pretty good discussion, and you vented some frustration. So
every now and then I gotta do it. But I appreciate it. Appreciate the support, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and have a good one. Peace out.